So guys, this is Ashley Jones. She's my friend. She's in our oily community on our team, and she's expecting her second. She has little Olivia, who is, gosh, what is she, 2 yet?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. And when are you due with your next one?
Around Thanksgiving.
Okay, all right. So you're going to be a busy mama.
Very much so.
But she's so knowledgeable, and she's obviously been through this process before as an oily mama. I didn't start using oils until I was, my kids were all a little bit older, like the baby was like 3 or 4. So whenever people ask me about babies and oils, I'm like, oh, don't ask me. I don't know. So I want to turn it over to Ashley and just let her roll with it.
My name is Ashley. I have a year and a half. And then I think I am not tracking, and I'm like really bad right now because mom brain and everything, but I think I'm 21 weeks pregnant. I don't know. I have to look on the app every single time because I can't remember. So I did use oils before pregnancy, helping to get pregnant, during pregnancy, right after. I've used oils for a very long time. So I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to give y'all the best suggestions, things that worked for me, things that I know that worked for other people. And then y'all can just do we'll do a Q&A. So very, very informal. So we're going to start with trimester 0. So preparing for pregnancy. Some women are really, really fortunate that they can be like, okay, I want to be pregnant this month, and it'll just happen for them. And some aren't as fortunate, so we need a little bit more help. So having a really good prenatal vitamin to start with. A lot of people use Master Formula for their prenatal. Good nutrition, of course, that's going to be everything, making sure your body is healthy to carry pregnancy, hold pregnancy, all that. Detoxing the home, so making sure you are kind of ditching and switching away from those toxic chemicals that could, cause endocrine disruptors, hormone disruptors, things like that. And then my last one is Progessence Plus. I'm sure y'all have heard a lot about it. I'm not going to get into the total nitty gritty of it, but I'll just highlight a few points. So it was formulated by Dan Purser and Gary Young. It's made from wild yams. And the way that progesterone works is it rises until ovulation, until you have a fertilized egg. And if that egg is not fertilized, that's when your lining starts to shed, you have a period, progesterone falls. So if the egg is fertilized, progesterone should kind of slightly start to increase until the placenta takes over, which is usually around 12 weeks. So I've used Progessence Plus. I had 2 miscarriages prior to Olivia. I found out, a little bit of backstory. I found out that I was an MTHFR gene mutation carrier. And because I was on birth control for almost 10 years. So I had no progesterone, no estrogen. My testosterone was through the roof. All my B vitamins were depleted. I had no D vitamins. So it took a good 2 years to get to a healthy point in my life to where I could hold pregnancy. I think it took about 2 years from the second miscarriage until I got pregnant with Olivia again. And that was just because I only focused on supplements and nutrition. I didn't even think and know at the time to ditch and switch toxic products. So I've learned a lot since then. For the first 2 miscarriages, I didn't even know about Progessence Plus, so I didn't use it. But for getting pregnant with Olivia, I had already started on Progessence Plus, and I used it up to, I want to say I think I stopped around week 20. I don't know why. I think it's just I was okay, I think it's stuck. I'm good. I don't need to keep applying this every day. So those are going to be my tips for preparing for pregnancy. So let's move into the first trimester. As far as supplements, I have down Ningxia Red. This is going to be, of course, your high antioxidant drink. It is going to give you a little bit of natural energy because you're getting in all those good vitamins and minerals. You want to continue a prenatal I added in multi-greens and Super C, so those two. And then I also added in Super B because
Ashley, do you do Super C tablets or the chewables?
I do the chewables. Yep. Yep. I do the chewables. I actually, as far as the prenatal, I don't take the master formula only because for both pregnancies, my nausea was so uncontrollable. I could only do like the gummies. They're called Smarty Pants. So those are the ones that I've stuck with. They worked for me, but I know master formula works for a lot of women. So gotta go, it works with you. So Super C chewables, Super B, a lot of nausea is due to your B vitamins. You know, you're low in B6, so Super B really helped with that. And then Life 9, just making sure you have really good gut health. On top of supplements, as far as oils go, I have a few rollers. So I used, especially during my first pregnancy, because I was working at a hospital. I'm a registered dietitian. So I was working at a hospital at the time, and I used the wellness roller every single day before I went into work. And if y'all want to write this down, grab a pen real quick. It's 15 drops of Melrose, 15 drops of Thieves, 15 drops of lemon, 7 drops of oregano, and 7 drops of frankincense. And I would rub this on the bottoms of my feet and on my spine before I would go to work. And I did that all through my pregnancy, both flu seasons when I worked there for 2 years, and I was able to support my immune system that way and stay healthy. Another roller that I really love, I actually had to roll this one on the bottoms of my feet because the smell during the first trimester was just, I couldn't take smells, guys. It was hard. So this one is my energy roller. It has energy, the essential oil energy, grapefruit, and spearmint, and it's 10 drops of each, and then it's just topped with fractionated coconut oil. Same with the wellness roller, it's topped with fractionated coconut oil. Along with energy, nitro, Ningxia red with some zing. Sometimes I would do all three together. Just kind of depends on how I was really feeling that day, if I really needed that extra kind of push. Okay, so talking about nausea. To be honest, my first trimester of both pregnancies, smells were horrendous. So honest to God, I kind of stayed away from oils. Unless I rolled them on my feet, and still then it was really tough to handle. So peppermint I know is really, really great for nausea. You can rub it on your sternum, you can put it on the bottoms of your feet. Something that helped me that wasn't an oil were the Thieves cough drops, as well as the Thieves mints. Something that both pregnancies, just everything tasted horrible. Water tasted like metal. I just always had this nasty taste in my mouth. I think I would brush my teeth like 3 or 4 times a day. So having something just to kind of help freshen my breath helped tremendously. And then as far as staying hydrated, because you know, when you're nauseous, you really don't want to eat or drink anything, Amino Wise helped as well. So adding a scoop of Amino Wise to my water throughout the first trimester helped me stay hydrated, keep my electrolytes up, in case I did have some episodes of vomiting. So any questions about the first trimester, y'all? No?
Okay. You guys can, since it's a small group, you can unmute if you want to and ask Ashley a question. Really good information. Thank you.
No problem.
And Vanessa says that these cough drops were a game changer for her too. So
she was the one I got the idea from.
Of course.
Okay, so we'll move along to the second trimester. So things that help during second trimester, of course, you want to continue on with all of your supplements. Some things that I added in for specifically were for stretch marks. Stretch marks are hereditary. If your family, if your mom had them, you're probably going to get them. But some things that really you need to keep in mind is one, staying hydrated. So you keep the skin well moisturized from the inside. So when it does go to stretch, it's not going to pull as much. You also want to, what was the other thing? Hydration, and just keep it moisturized on the outside as well. There was something else, but I can't remember. It'll come to me. So most people use Tender Tush for stretch marks. They'll put Tender Tush all over their stomach. I didn't have good luck with that one, so I actually made my own concoction, and this is what it came up with. If I showed you pictures of my mom and my sister's stretch marks, y'all would cringe, and I have one stretch mark. So, oh, weight gain, that's what it is. If you gain weight rapidly, you will gain stretch marks because the skin is stretching too quickly. So weight gain is inevitable with pregnancy, but trying to minimize gaining so quickly will be beneficial. Okay, so here's my concoction. I used the coconut lime body butter. There's no perfect like recipe. I would literally just like scoop some out for however much surface area of the belly I needed it for. And then I bought this. It's by Jason, or however you say it. And it's the 45,000 IUs of vitamin E, and it's just a liquid. And same, I would just do like a little drop, not too much. And then 1 drop of Gentle Baby, and then 1 drop of frankincense, because both are great skin oils, skin supporting oils. Rub it all together, rub it all over the stomach. I did that once through the 1st and 2nd trimester, and then once I got to the 3rd trimester, I was doing it up to 2 to 3 times a day. So I went through a lot of body butter during that time. So that's my concoction. Let's see, headaches and migraines are also going to be another symptom during the 2nd trimester. Peppermint helps a lot with some people. M-grain helps a lot. Unfortunately, those don't even touch my headaches when I get some. So I actually use the CBD muscle balm, and I'll put it on my temples with some peppermint, and then I'll put it on the back of my neck. And that seems to help kick it more quickly than just using peppermint or M-grain alone. I also use the CBD rub for ligament pain. So last night, I was actually getting some round ligament pain on my right hand side, and I was just like, okay, Ashley, just suck it up. Just, try to get through it. And I was like, you're dumb. Like, you have stuff. You have like an oily kick. Come on, you know what to use. So I grabbed the CBD and I rubbed it on, and like 5 minutes later, there was no more discomfort. So that was very helpful. You can also do Cool Azul as well. So, or I think some people use Panaway, but that's kind of like it's up to you, because I think Panaway has wintergreen, correct?
Yeah.
And wintergreen is recommended that you stay away from, but it's up to your discretion. So you can stick with Cool Azul. Heartburn starts in the 2nd trimester. Lemon essential oil on the sternum helps a lot. You just want to make sure, since it is the light sensitive oils, you want to make sure you either dilute it down or you have a shirt on if you go outside. Alkaline is also going to help tremendously with heartburn. So help minimize the acid, like the acid base balance. So any questions for 2nd trimester?
That's really good. So do the Thieves cough drops help? I missed that part. Did they help you with indigestion too? Have you tried them?
Mine, not for indigestion, but more just nausea. So I remember—
They really do help me with indigestion too, but I'm not pregnant.
That's good. So Vanessa and I were pregnant at the same time 2 years ago at convention, and there was one day at convention I didn't even go because I was just so nauseous, and she was like, take some Thieves cough drops. So I literally had one in my mouth all day long. I fell asleep with one in my mouth. Like, it was the only thing that helped it. So
she says she sucked on one every night before bed.
Yep.
Yeah. So does the lemon applied topically work better for you than putting it under your tongue or drinking it in your water?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. During pregnancy, I've always had weird things with oils, like the smells of them, and even like doing the CBD drops, just they don't agree well. So I just try to stick with topical and diffusing.
Yeah.
But that's me.
So I do have a question for you, and Vanessa's on here too. So if either one of you want to answer. So the only thing I can see people thinking if they don't understand CBD is like, how can you do CBD while you're pregnant?
Because there's no THC in it.
There's no THC in it, right?
Yep.
But
I know Vanessa can answer that way better than I can. That's the simplified version. There's no THC in it.
So, and what you have to think about also is that they're already doing essential oils. And so it's an isolate form that is what Young Living had. So that is why doing an isolate and the essential oils together, there is nothing that is going to give you any kind of high or like that. It's honestly just going to bring your body to homeostasis, especially using the CBD muscle rub. It's just going to be very beneficial to you, just like if you were using the Coolazole pain cream, you know?
yeah. Do you use, what milligrams do you use of the rub?
I have the 300 milligram.
Okay. Good deal.
Great for mastitis.
What, Vanessa?
That it's great for mastitis too. Like I got mastitis, and I'm telling you, like after birth, labor pains and mastitis, like it saved me on both of them. Saved
Really?
me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
Immediately away that edge, you know. And with the fourth child, after labor pains with the fourth is just so bad that it took that pain away immediately, and it was bad, like worse.
Applying to your abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. After labor pains were actually worse for me than actual labor pains were with Hartley.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. We're trying to encourage you, Ashley. It's all good.
Oh, I mean, I've already been through it once. It's totally fine.
Good to know.
Okay, so moving on to the third trimester. Circulation and swelling. One of these oils I've already had to pull out because I don't know if it's from like picking up Olivia and just all the extra weight, and I'm working out this pregnancy when I didn't last pregnancy, but I'm having to pull out Cypress for my legs because I'm getting some not fun looking veins like on my calves and in my shins. So I have some that are kind of like popping out right now, and it's just not pretty. So I've been rubbing that on, and it's helping. You can also do grapefruit too. So cypress and grapefruit will help with swelling. And Vanessa has a really good story about that.
Actually, really rude, Ashley. You can tell this.
I didn't know. Okay, so I'll tell you real quick. We were at convention again. We were both pregnant, and in that time, I was deep into intuitive eating as a dietitian, and I really didn't get into like the holistic side of nutrition. So we were trying to figure out where to eat dinner, and I was like, "Oh, let's just go to Benihana's." And Vanessa's like, "I can't, like the salt." I'm like, "Vanessa, it's just salt. Like, what? Why are you freaking out? Like, it's okay if you have a little." After we ate dinner, I still feel bad about it. After we ate dinner, her feet were like doubled the size. I felt horrible, guys. It was so bad. So when we got back to the hotel room, she pulled out Cypress, she pulled out grapefruit, and she was just like rubbing her legs down all night long.
But that's really good. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you defend your feet.
But it was, y'all, I look like I had Flintstone feet. Like,
yes.
And it was like, I was like, "Actually, I promise you, like, I know my body." And she's like, "B, like, there's just no way." And here, I mean, I trust her too, you know? And like, she was like, it was before we even got up from the dinner table. She's like, "What is happening?" And I'm like, "I'm telling you the God's honest truth." And so, but I'm telling you, we did cypress and grapefruit, and I'm like rubbed it down. And by next morning, and I was drinking a ton of water. And by next morning, they were gone. And I was 18 weeks pregnant then too. So
wow.
that's a true testimony right there.
Yeah, and for anybody who's watching this, that even if you're not pregnant, this is a fantastic combination for anyone who needs help with circulation and water retention, because cypress is our #1 oil for improving circulation, and grapefruit is an awesome diuretic. So the combination of the two, you can put grapefruit in your water too, which is awesome. But if you want quick, I think rubbing it on.
And you can easily make a roller with it,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like.
Even with magic, like even if you add the Cellulite Magic to it, and you go a little bit further, you can do that too, especially if you're having with restless leg and stuff like that.
And I think we forget about those massage oils that are already pre-mixed. That's like kind of a little hidden secret of ours, because the Cellulite Magic, #1 ingredient in it is cypress. So those bad boys will last you quite a while.
So speaking of restless leg, because that's actually my next point, that's usually related to like a magnesium deficiency. Sometimes it can be like water if you're not drinking enough, but most of the time it's magnesium. So we have a fantastic new supplement called Unwind. It's like a pixie stick form, so just like the KidSense pre and probiotic. I haven't personally tried it because I don't know what it tastes like, but I know Vanessa has, and that's a good, easy supplement for you to take if you need to kind of up your magnesium. Peace and calming also is going to help. You can just rub it straight on your legs. I've also heard too, mineral essence is great.
Yes. Mineral essence is great, but it tastes so rough. So I like to add, like today I took it for something and I added some cinnamon bark to it, which really helped, or I'll add lemon to it. That's very helpful. Unwind, if you've had Mighty Pro, Mighty Pro does taste like a pixie stick. Unwind does not taste like a pixie stick. So you got to have a little bit of warning on that, because I just dropped it on my tongue. Like, I'm going to be so excited because it's like a pixie stick. Oh boy. I literally tasted it all day. So I have found if I mix it in a little water, that's all I need. It's just like maybe a couple of ounces of water, even, because if you take it at night and you drink a whole lot of water, you're going to be up going to the bathroom. But for me, that's it. And I've heard moms say that they put it in a spoonful of unsweetened applesauce for their kids, and that they like that.
Or just mix it with your Ningxia, like with your kids' Ningxia and stuff like that. Now, Kennedy, on the other hand, she can literally take it down. Like, sister's just like, ooh, just give me all the supplements. Give me all the flavor.
Perineum care is up next. This one's almost like a taboo topic. I didn't even know about it until late in my second trimester, and I didn't do it. I'm going to be completely honest. I did not do the perineum care. I didn't do the stretches like you're supposed to, and I had almost a third degree tear. Yeah, it was not fun. So I used Clariderm afterwards to help with healing. But if you want to start it before and prevent tearing, you can use Clariderm. Starting around 34 weeks is when they recommend it. And just Google perineum care. It'll show you pictures of exercises on how to do it. So sleep support, because I know in the third trimester, it's really difficult to get some sleep. So lavender, diffusing lavender, you can do a tranquil roll-on, peace and calming, the seedlings calm. And I also have Mellow Mix. Mellow Mix knocks me out, which is, I think, liquid Xanax is what it was originally called. So you can just Pinterest Mellow Mix, and I'm sure it'll pop up. So what did you say, Vanessa? You can even use Clariderm before and spray 2 to 3 times a day. So before starting at the 34 weeks.
Yeah. And Dana actually had it in the delivery room with her, and her mom would just keep spraying it down there for her, like during labor. But Clariderm, guys, oh my gosh, for all women who have, like Dana said on the last one, if you guys didn't watch the convention one, anyone who has a vagina needs Clariderm, because it is so good. Like for all things, if you're irritated or raw or whatever, just really good.
So I also have that listed for labor and delivery. So tearing, Clariderm, but it feels, it's going to sound weird, but it feels good. Like, it's cooling. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels nice on that area. So, okay, so labor and delivery oils. You can do clary sage to kind of help start with contractions. It didn't work for me. Olivia was being stubborn as all get out, and she did not want to come out. So, I mean, we tried clary sage, and we were very consistent with it. And it just, at the end of the day, if the baby's not ready, an oil isn't going to force eviction, but it'll definitely kind of help speed up the process for some people. So I know Vanessa has really good luck with clary sage.
Well, and you know what's so funny is clary sage doesn't really actually work until your body is actually having contractions. So if you're trying to use it to start contractions, you actually have to have contractions in order for it to really start to work. And that's where using it consistently will. So if you're trying, a lot of people are like, how can I induce labor on my own? And people are always like, oh, clary sage, clary sage, clary sage. It's really when you're starting to have those contractions that you want to use the clary sage pretty consistently, because that's going to help you to keep those contractions going.
Another one that you can use is Valor for courage, especially during transition. If you've birthed naturally, then you might know what transition feels like. If you've had an epidural, then you wouldn't know because you're not feeling anything, but definitely you're going to want some Valor during that time. And then peace and calming. I think I diffused peace and calming in our room. That was a very whirlwind giving birth to Olivia, so I don't remember a lot, but I do remember I packed almost like every single oil I had in my backpack. And before we started out at a birthing center, and I ended up having to get transferred to a hospital. But before I left, my contractions were radiating around my back and shooting down to my knees. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put some deep relief on, thinking like, okay, deep relief, that's going to help. The second I rolled it on, I immediately was screaming like, get me a washcloth, get me some soap, because it was just burning. Like not burning, but it was so cooling and everything was so heightened. Like I just wanted it off as quick as I got it on. So I would maybe stay away from that one. They recommended the CBD and Cool Azul, so those would be good ones. Amino-wise, to keep up with hydration, Ningxia Red, if you can swing it and stomach it. And then you're going to want peppermint for nausea, especially during transition. So some quick things that I have for postpartum. Oils are going to be Joy. Great Day Protocol. That one helped me a lot. And then I started with Progessence Plus the day that we got home from the hospital. Tearing Clariderm, which we already went over that. And then unfortunately, if you do get hemorrhoids, I mean, it happens, it's, part of the process. Witch Hazel, Clariderm, and then Animal Scents with Dill and Cypress are going to be your go-tos for that. So, Gentle Babies. If y'all don't have this book by Deborah Rayburn, I would get, if you have the older one, I would definitely get the newer version because it's like double the size. So it has a lot more information all the way from birth to like toddlers and kids. So
thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a super easy pregnancy and delivery.
Oh Lord, me too.
We'll be watching.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.